Today we're with Alex from Extractor Solutions, and then talking about their newest automated machines, and then I'm sure all of the viewers and subscribers would love to hear. So take it away, please, Alex.
Yeah, so past about a year, we've been kind of shifting our production to fully automated extraction systems.
So if I may, would that be the big trend of the whole industry as of now?
I mean, it's kind of a more rare trend because we are dealing with butane. There's a lot that goes into making a system like this. So you're not seeing a lot of companies kind of jump in. I think maybe a lot of them explored the idea and thought it wasn't worth it. But personally, that's where I see my company going, and at least the people who are going to really excel in the industry and be more than consistent, be able to deliver orders and plan ahead, basically getting extra facilities going because they have their skilled personnel available to do these new things.
So besides, before we jump into the details, would you elaborate a little bit on what kind of typical customers would love this technology, what it's for, how to solve their problems or pain points?
Sure.
And then to our viewers.
Yeah, so I think the people that will really love it the most are going to be the lab operators and lab managers. It's not so much replacing your job, it's making it a lot easier. So, you don't have to have somebody in there. There's plenty, that lab techs can do in the aspect of post-processing. There is still some maintenance and packing of the machine because of its speed. You have to pack the column every 30 minutes with fresh material. So, there's a little bit of labor involved with it still. But the point is we're able to kind of do more at once because it's, number one, controlled by the PLC. It can open multiple valves at once on different sides of the system. It can be recovering on one end and starting the butane injection of the second material column batch simultaneously.
Great. So you mentioned fully automated. Besides the previous couple of things you mentioned, what makes it so special, and then who, as the decision makers, would want it for why?
I would say that the most important characteristic of the Milo system is the continuous operation.
Okay.
So I don't know of any other systems on the market that are meant to constantly recover and just inject the next batch straight into the collection base. We're able to streamline production by cutting batch time in half by allowing multiple batches to be simultaneously run. We use some smart radar sensors on our system, so we always know how much solvent is in each tank, and this allows us to be very precise with how much we're recovering from one batch to the next. It allows us to cycle things.
So besides that, from the technical view, from an executive view, what are they looking at? How much to get into it? How much ROI to get out of it? And how soon? Would you address that, please?
Sure. So there is a significant investment. You're going to pay a lot more than you would for traditional equipment, but you're also got to factor in, your bottom line is going to increase because of the fact that you're not paying a specialized technical employee to operate these, or multiple specialized technical employees. This thing can be run around the clock by a basic entry-level technician with some safety training.
So in terms, give me a figure, please. It's just in terms of dollar signs or percentage signs, how much are they going to save by obviously investing a new system from
I would say the average client would save about $100,000 to $300,000 a year just in labor. We do have a 4-part solution, which if you're running all of these solutions around the clock, that's 4 employees, 4 skilled technical employees.
So 4 parts, as you mentioned, is fully automated, but it's not just for it's just for one process until the crude, or all the way to their final product from BHO, whatever that might be.
All right, so the mechanized intelligent lab operator, the Milo extraction system, is just for making crude oil. This thing is going to crank out butane extraction and butane extracted oil products, also known as crude, like crazy. So we'll have a massive amount of crude. Some clients will just order the Milo system for crude production, but I think the people who are into making higher quality products on a consistent basis are going to utilize our tools, being the automated isolation reactor system and the plug diamond mining system. The two of those together would allow the user to create purified THCA isolate as an end product, and also to recrystallize that THCA and turn it into crystallized diamonds, as we call them, or liquid diamonds for vape pens, etc.
So looping back on the original question, as a decision maker or executive for licensed lab, how much are they looking to invest, and how soon to recover, for how much? If that's not too private, would you address that a little bit?
Yeah, so we could take a down payment for the system to get things started.
How much?
I don't think I want to do that on the video.
Okay, all right. So we'll skip that.
We'll skip that. Yeah, I mean, I could see labs that are really on top of it, that have number one, a consistent supply of fresh material coming in, and two, of course, you've got to make those sales. Everybody knows how hard this game is. You have to make those sales once you have the product in hand. So if you're doing those two things and you're knocking it out of the park, I would say you could pay off this system in a couple of months, maybe 3 or 4 months. You're completely paid off.
Cool. A whole complete system, what does it include and how much?
So we've got an automated solvent distillation system. We have the Milo extraction system. We have the automated isolation reactor system. We have the plug diamond miner. We're going to offer all of those in a complete kit with the Class 1 Division 1 labs installed, on-site consulting and training, and as well as some ancillary equipment, vacuum ovens that you're going to need to purge your end products. That complete package is about $750,000.
I remember somehow across the line there are two instead of one C1D1 because the whole system is rarely possible to cram into only one C1D1 lab. Is that correct?
Correct.
So the price you quoted actually include two C1D1.
Right. Each authority has a max allowable quantity of solvent that can go in these booths. So we have the Milo extraction system and the automated solvent distillation system in a larger 20-foot booth. And then we have our diamond mining system and isolation reactor in a little bit smaller of a booth. Both separated so that we can obtain single max allowable quantities for each specified unit.
You mentioned the first one's 24-foot container, and the second one is a little bit smaller. How big is that?
So the first one is a DYS-20, it's a 10 by 20, and the second booth is a 10 by 8. So it'll be much smaller. It'll be more like a little walk-in vent hood, essentially, with some opening doors. But this particular unit is going to be a lot less hands-on. I think that the user is going to be in the Milo extraction system, the DYS-20, a lot more, putting in the fresh solvent to be distilled, repacking that material column. Whereas when we get to the post-processing room, the isolation reactor room, and the plug diamond miner, we're just utilizing crude oil and fresh solvent. So we'll take that pre-distilled solvent and we'll hook it up to the isolation reactor and the plug miner's reservoirs. And we will do the post-processing of crashing out the THCA through cold crashing, and then recrystallizing it into plug diamond miners.
Okay.
Completely automated. So really the only reason to go in there is to top off solvent levels and to remove your THCA diamonds.
Okay, great. I misspoke. It's not 24, but there are other 10 by 20 feet, and also the smaller one is 10 by 8 feet.
Correct.
Okay, that's all for today. Let's thank Alex for the introduction about the Milo system and other systems, and we'll talk more next time.
All right. Thank you, David.
Thank you, Alex.